Well, hello, all of you beautiful people out there in Minecraft land. How are you today? Ow! I am fantastic, except that I forgot I'm not wearing my feather falling boots, and of course I'm taking some damage. Other than that, I'm fantastic. Did I say I'm fantastic already? I don't know. I've already forgotten. See? Short-term memory. It's all good. How are you? Did I ask you that too? Oh, man. This intro's all over the place. Anyway, I've got some repairs to do to my big machine and add some more things to it. As promised, welcome back, by the way, to Vid Week, Episode 3. This one is, as long as my calculations are correct and, you know, the world isn't on fire or anything, this episode should come out on Friday. Oh, man, I don't know if I should be making jokes like that. Anyway, let's go somewhere else. And now, I'm back over here at my noisy machine. It is turned off at the moment, but it is still pretty noisy because it's filtering a bunch of bone meal at the moment. But there is a minor problem with this machine that I kind of want to show you. If I check some of these chests over here, like this one right here, you can see lots and lots of warp stems. And if I check this one up here, lots and lots of warp stems. And if I check this one here, well, some of these chests I've emptied a little bit. But this one I haven't emptied at all. Look at this. I don't even have 2 stacks. So I mean, I guess if I combine this and this, I have just over 2 stacks of crimson stems. That in contrast to all of these warp stems and all of these warp stems, and actually I already removed 2 shulkers worth of crimson stems. So this machine produces a lot more warp stems than it does crimson stems. If I come up these little stairs over here that I've built, you can see into the machine I have 2 spots of crimson and 3 spots of warped nylium in there. The problem is, for some reason, I'm not really sure why, this didn't happen in my testing world. These last 2 slots, the 2 that are closest to me, they don't really trigger nearly as often as the other ones. So what I need to do is get in there and put at least 1 more crimson nylium into this chain, probably at the very end. I tested this fix out in my creative world, and it doesn't look like it's going to be that hard to do. I just need to get up there and actually do it. So I've turned my sound down while I do this, just to make sure that there aren't any major problems. The way I have to do this, I think, well, first I'm going to actually collect some of this water. So 1, 2, there we go. So I've still got 2 buckets of water, which I can use to refill all this area. And then I'm just going to come along and place in a bunch of this stone to try to clear out some of the water that's there. I guess that's not going to work for these. This looks like a source block, and it shouldn't be. So maybe what I need to do is grab one of these buckets. And let's see, if I dump that in, nope, that's not going to work. Dump that in and then empty it, right? And then dump it in and empty it. And then dump it in and empty it. No, I'm just going to end up making a mess here. Maybe if I put these blocks up first, something like this. There we go. That should stop that problem from happening. Then dump and empty. Oh, dump. Oh, okay. Apparently you can't dump in those spots. Okay, well I can dump over here, right? So let's just dump it here. And then empty. And dump. And empty. And dump. And empty. There we go. And all the water should now go away. Perfect. Now I can clear this away and get into the next part. So the next part is going to be breaking some of these trapdoors. I probably don't need to break them all. Just a few of them. I lost one. It went into my hopper somewhere, so I'll have to search for that and get it back. And then I have to break this hopper as well right here because I need to jump right down inside all of this machine. Then break this, break this. I know there's a whole bunch of bone meal that just went into my inventory. And I think I'm going to have to break this and this as well. There, that gives me a way to actually get in and out of here without too much difficulty. So here, I need to put a piston facing straight down like that. Then, what I'm going to do is push crimson nylium right down where this warped nylium is. So I guess I need to break the warped nylium first. So let's break that. Try not to disturb the minecart that's underneath it. There we go. And then I wish you could just put it right down there, but you can't, unfortunately. So put crimson there. Now the next step is going to be to put another piece of crimson right in here, and then quickly push it all down and break the crimson so that this doesn't turn into netherrack. So let's do that. Flip, and then break this before it turns, and yes, we're good. Okay, so now we have crimson in there, and we can clean up our mess. So get rid of the piston, and then just put everything back to the way it was. Dispenser facing straight down. We need our glass right up here. Then we need to carry on our redstone there and there. Not there. There. And you can see already I've got bone meal refilling here. So I'll just add that in there. Perfect. Is that... Yep, that's perfect. That's all we need right there. And then I can put my hopper back. Not there. That's... How can I place the last component? Just bad. Well, I guess not the last component, but okay. And now I've lost my hopper because one of my hoppers is in here. Well, I'll fix that hopper, and then finally I just have to put the 3 trapdoors back in. 1, 2, and the other one that I lost. So I'll find those, which are probably in one of these hoppers, and then I will finish the machine and launch it. Aha! There's my iron trapdoor, there's my hopper, there's those stone that I lost before, and I think the rest of this stuff is okay to all get composted. Mostly it's this warped wart block, which I get a lot of from this farm. That's probably like the single biggest product that comes out of this farm, but I'm just composting it all into bone meal because this machine also requires a lot of bone meal. But luckily, all of that stuff produces enough bone meal to keep this machine running without having to be refilled with bone meal. Very cool design. The trapdoor goes right there. The hopper goes right there. So I didn't mess that up this time. And then I've just got to put all of the water back in here. So when I was building this machine, I discovered that the easiest way to do this was to put water there and then water there. That creates an infinite source in the middle. So we take that one away and then put one at the end. So now I've got my 3 over there just fine. I can take another one out of here and then waterlog 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the machine is totally back and built and ready to run one more time. And hopefully now we'll get lots more crimson wood. So it seems like the most popular one of the 5 slots that actually fires is the one in the middle. So here we have another warped tree, and hoping that when this TNT finishes blowing this tree up, that it'll trigger, there's the last TNT. Now it should trigger again and grow, and we're hoping, there it is, it's going to grow from the end, and there's a crimson. So with any luck at all, this will now provide us way more crimson than we had before. Just after that last clip you watched, I spent about an hour AFK at this farm just to see if I was getting more crimson, and I was getting more crimson, but it was still pretty diminished from the amount of warped that I was getting. So I ended up replacing a 4th block with crimson in the back, and here, something interesting happened. I did an AFK session overnight with 4 of the 5 blocks as crimson, and just the one in the middle left as warped. And somewhere overnight, the 4th, or the 5th block, I should say, that was warped turned into crimson as well. So I ended up getting a lot more crimson, or at least I should have got a lot more crimson. I think it must have happened toward the end of the night because if I come over here for a second, I still have, look, massive amounts of crimson, or sorry, warped. Why do I keep mixing these up? This is not crimson color. It's definitely blue. I should just call them the blue wood and the purple wood, or the crimson. I guess crimson is a color. Anyway, I got a lot of this stuff. And still, well, actually, I shouldn't say not a lot of the other stuff because I actually already removed it. So look at this. I've got, you know, at least 1 double chest, 1.5, and then this is more than a half. So 2 double chests, 2.5 double chests almost of this stuff. But then I only got, well, I already emptied it, but it was probably almost 2 double chests. It was down to about here of the crimson. I'm showing you an empty chest here as if there's stuff in here, but there isn't. I already moved it out to my to Power Inc. But yeah, now that the whole system has been converted over to Crimson, it's going to produce, obviously, nothing but Crimson. It should produce a whole lot. From what you saw in the video already, it's not that hard to convert back and forth. It does take a little bit of effort, but, I mean, 5 minutes, not even 2 minutes to switch it from Crimson to Warped. If I need to get a lot more Warped, I can just switch it back, and that is not going to be a problem. I think it's a lot better than building a second machine, and I was actually considering that, building another one, one for Crimson and one for Warped, but I think that's, yeah, that's a little bit more complicated than I'm going to need to do, especially since I'm not sure what the market yet is going to be for this stuff. And speaking of market, I'm back over here at Power Inc. because, as you might have suspected, I've already added the brand new product right up here. Crimson stems, 1 diamond per stack, which is the same price as the warp stems and the shroom lights. For now, no additional sales on those. However, Total Thomasman had a live stream, and during his live stream, he asked me if he could purchase some of these crimson stems, and so he ended up buying 3 stacks of stems. So here I am just restocking that, and now we are good to go.
And now for something completely different.
Dang this blasted rain in Minecraft 1.18. Not only is rain a lot more prevalent in 1.18, but I find that thunderstorms are actually happening quite a bit now too. And that's caused a little bit of an issue at my villager trading. Let me show you something. So last week I was over here trading, and lightning struck the villager that was behind this cauldron here, my leathersmith, and turned him into a witch. And I did a little bit of searching on Google, and it turns out that once that happens, there's no way to get him back. So no matter how much time you spend with your villagers, you know, curing them, turning them into zombies, doing the cure thing, getting their prices low and everything, one little lightning strike will end all of that. And check this out. I have all of these very important villagers, especially some of these guys down here, that took me a long time to actually get. And guess what? My looting 3 villager got hit by lightning just a few minutes ago. And I lost him. He turned into a witch. I had to dispose of him because he was throwing bottles of poison at my other villagers, and these guys almost died because of it. So it is time to remedy this situation. And you probably noticed in my inventory that I have some iron blocks and some lightning rods. So let's fix this right now. And now that the rain has stopped, bang, I can put the final lightning rod down. So I don't know how far apart to space these things exactly, but I figure these 6 lightning rods far above my villagers, or where hopefully my villagers will be. I'm hoping this will protect them. Anyway, lightning strikes should hit the lightning rods instead of actually hitting my villagers, and hopefully I don't have this problem again. And speaking of villagers, I decided that it's high time that I start doing some actual villager work in VidMC Tower, which has been the plan since the very beginning. I have all of those villagers right up there, and really, they're doing me absolutely no good. Let me actually get up there and show you what I'm talking about. If you recall, I have farmer villagers at the top of my tower, or near the top of my tower. 4 of these guys, actually, and they have, well, normally anyway, access to beds that are currently blocked off because I don't want them to do any additional breeding. But the whole idea is these guys can normally see these beds, but they actually can't get through because even though I can fit underneath these trapdoors here on the ceiling, they can't fit underneath these trapdoors. But they believe they can, and that gives them access to the beds, and so they breed, but the babies that they breed will appear in these areas and then walk right here, trying to get to the beds. Again, normally this trapdoor is open, and they fall right down here and end up in this little channel. I did have a little bit of an issue with glass and villagers going through the glass here, so I replaced it with iron blocks, and hopefully I won't have that problem again. But the baby villagers stop right here on top of this wall, and they kind of bounce around here until they grow up. And when they grow up, they pop up here into this area right here. And you can see I actually have quite a few of these guys. Yeah, they're way more than I should. But they're doing me absolutely no good up here. So I need to get them down to a more useful place. And that is where this drop chute is going to come in. So I've only done 2 of the 4 sides right now, but I'll show you at the top in a minute. Villagers are going to fall down this drop chute through this hole and end up landing in a water pool at the bottom. And I can just jump down there and show you what I'm talking about. Boom! Into this water pool. And this is a much more convenient place for these guys to end up because this, if you recall, is the foundation for where I'm going to build my new villager trading setup. So let's get the other 2 sides of this thing built up, and then we'll figure out how we can get our villagers down there. And there we go. We are now pretty darn close to the very top. I've got a couple more glass blocks to put in. And the idea here is that I'm going to break that glass block that is right underneath the corner where those villagers are. And the water should flow them right over and down. And they should end up in this drop chute and fall all the way down. That's the hope. So let's see if we can actually do that. I need to put a couple signs in here. Sign number 1 right there, just to make sure that the water doesn't fall all the way down here. I am going to have to put another sign right up here as well, but I think I can wait on that one. I'm kind of worried that villagers are going to land on this piece of glass. I don't think it's going to happen, but, well, let's just find out. Okay, so break that, and what happened? Oh no, I ended up with a lot of glass. Okay, so these guys should be now able to just go right through there. But they're not, because they're glitched into the glass. Of course they are. Well, what if I pop up there myself, and then maybe I can give them a little bit of a nudge. Alright, here I am up here, and I'm not entirely sure why these guys aren't falling down, but I'm just going to give them a push, and then maybe... I think it's the glass. Honestly, I think that's what the problem is. I think I should have replaced all of this glass with actual solid blocks. Yeah. Okay, let me try to break some blocks and see what happens. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I placed that block, and all of my villagers just suddenly... like fell right down. I don't know if that's going to be a problem in the future. Maybe if I actually remove one of these signs, maybe that will solve the problem. Let's try that. Let's try now removing this and seeing if that actually solves the problem. Does this make these guys flow and end up down? Nope, they are basically not going to do what I want them to do. Oh, wait, I know what to do. I can place a sign. Yeah, okay. So let's do this again. Let's get this block in place. Get these guys to walk out of the way or fall, whichever they prefer. And place a sign right here. There we go. That should solve all the problems. There, now I've got all of my signs, and this should just fix this, right? I'm smart. I'm a guy. I'm a Minecraft guy. Yep. Goodbye. And then they all fall straight down, and boom. They're all safe in this pool at the bottom, which is great. They can't get out, but I can because I have rockets. And now they're in the perfect place to continue my project. And that, my friends, is where I am going to end this episode, and also where I'm going to end VidWeek. I hope you guys enjoyed 3 episodes in a week instead of just 1 episode, and I know this one was probably a little bit longer than the other ones, and that's basically because at the last minute I decided to do some additional villager stuff to prep for the big project that's coming up next week, which you can probably guess what's happening. No spoilers, and don't be surprised if it doesn't happen, because I have a tendency to change my mind as well. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do all of the YouTube things, and that's just fantastic for me. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.